Welcome to another episode of D-Link TV. I'm Sherry, and I'm here today with Dan, and today we're going to be discussing D-Link's Xtreme N dual-band wireless router. So Dan, let's start with the basics. Can you explain to us why it's so important to have a wireless router?
Sure. Well, there's two primary functions that a wireless router performs in the home, and the first is the sharing, right? You create a Wi-Fi network in your home with a wireless router that allows all the PCs and other devices in your home to connect together to share files, but probably most importantly, and the main reason that people buy a wireless router is to share the internet, right? The other key feature that a wireless router gives you is that it protects you from a lot of threats that are going to try to get to your PC, because it's a first layer of protection against any outside threats to the home network. So the two basic functions there is that it's going to protect the home network from certain threats, and it's going to create a nice, powerful Wi-Fi network for everything to share. Okay, so what makes this 855 different from other wireless routers? Well, the 855 has a lot going for it in terms of features and functions. And the first and foremost is that it's a Draft 11N router. And what that means is that it's the latest and greatest Wi-Fi standard, so it's going to give you significantly faster speeds and a much further range in your home to connect all of those computers and more. So this wireless router will go where your broadband connection comes in. It's going to be hardwired to your cable or DSL modem. Maybe you're getting it from satellite or your cable or telephone provider. This connects to it, and then it creates a Wi-Fi signal that basically will blanket your entire home so that you can connect those devices anywhere and throughout your home. And because it's 11N, it's going to give you, again, that faster speeds and further range. Okay, and this also has the dual band feature. So in what applications is dual band necessary? So we talked about 11N, and what dual band basically means is there's a band, which is really just a radio band. And this is a dual band router, so it's using both 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. I think that a lot of people are familiar with 2.4 gigahertz. A lot of cordless phones that you buy nowadays are 2.4 gigahertz. The previous standard, which is 802.11g, that operates in the 2.4 gigahertz standard. So what this gives you, it kind of gives you, the best of all worlds, right? You're getting a powerful 11N network in the 2.4 gigahertz and the 5 gigahertz. Now, why did we bring 5 gigahertz into this router? Well, the 2.4 gigahertz band is, as great as it is for 11G and 11N, it's still going to be sufficient for many years to come for data transfers, et cetera. The 5 gigahertz gives you a less crowded environment, right? It's an environment that if you're going to be connecting things such as gaming consoles like a PS3 or an Xbox, or say you want to start streaming high-definition movies and more to your TV or to other computers in your home, we utilize that 5 gigahertz band because it's less crowded. It's still just as strong because it's 11N, but you're really kind of simultaneously creating two networks at the same time in your home, one 2.4, one 5 gigahertz. So you'll be able to use both bands simultaneously depending on what you're trying to do in your home. But it's really a best of both worlds scenario where you have one that might be used for sharing files, sharing printers, and more, but you also have another one that could be maybe dedicated just for gaming or just for moving media to your TV, that type of thing. Okay, so you're saying like if you're running the 5 gigahertz and the 2.4, it won't be as congested because the 2.4 is what runs like your telephone and your microwave and such. Yeah, and 2.4 is still, I don't want to say that it's a bad band because it's still, sufficient enough for sharing your internet. It's still, going to be great for sending printers to the printer, et cetera. But when you start getting into the kind of bandwidth-intensive applications, things like HD movie streaming or intense gaming applications, that's when you're going to want, a cleaner band to do those type of applications. So yeah, in a sense, you're right. You basically have two networks at the same time running. You could run everything on the 2.4 gigahertz band, and you're going to probably be fine. But once you want to start moving up, into those higher-end applications like gaming and HD streaming, that's when you're going to want to probably start tapping into the 5 gigahertz band. Okay, and so the 5 gigahertz has to be, the item that you have hooked up to this has to be compatible, right, to use with 5 gigahertz. Yeah, so if you're going to try to connect a gaming console or even a computer or any other device and you really are focused on trying to use that 5 gigahertz band, then yeah, you're going to want it to be 5 gigahertz compatible. Otherwise, still you're going to get a nice strong connection if you connect anything to the 2.4 gigahertz band. And one important note to make here is that if you have an existing computer or device that's 802.11g, or maybe you have an older device that's 802.11b, this router is backwards compatible, so those products can connect. So really it's sending out 4 different signals. It's sending out the 11N in 2.4 and the 11N in 5, but that's also going to be able to connect 11G devices and 11B devices. So there's not many Wi-Fi products, or probably hardly any, that will not be able to be connected and run through the 855.
Great. So I noticed on here there's this really bright OLED display. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, this router really represents sort of the top of the line in the D-Link router family. As we said, it's 11N. It's the best performing router that we have because it's part of our Xtreme N family. But what we've done here is we've created an onboard display, which is using OLED technology that basically will allow you to kind of access those key diagnostics and features and speeds and feeds of your network at a glance, right? So you don't have to go into the computer, log into your router, pull up your log files. So if you're kind of attuned to what a home network is and you want to know that you're performing at the optimal levels, everything is sort of at a glance. It's got a clock, obviously, here, but it'll also tell you key things such as your internet speed, how fast the connections are in your home, to make sure that you have your security on. It's going to let you know if anybody is trying to log into your network that's not authorized. So at a glance, you get a nice, kind of complete set of diagnostics on your network right there.
Cool. And I noticed there are a lot of ports on the back of this as well. Can you tell us about those?
Sure. So as with most of our routers, they come with ports in the back. So if you want to create a wired connection for a PC or a device that's really nearby the router, it's always going to be a more stable connection to do wired, just because it's obviously there's no interference there and it's in close proximity. The connection to the internet is also gigabit speed, as with the 4 wired Ethernet ports here. So we're using the kind of the fastest speeds that you can get out there today with gigabit. The other port here is a USB port, and that is for setting up with Windows Connect Now. So it's really to ease the installation and make it as easy as possible for consumers to get the wireless network up and running in as short amount of steps as possible.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
One other feature that we talked about, trying to find devices that are 5 gigahertz to connect in, but will also connect it to 2.4. We also sell a device that looks very similar to this device. It's the DAP1522. And what that basically is, it's creating a bridge, kind of a wireless bridge. If you have the 855 connected to your router and it's creating that nice, strong home network Wi-Fi signal in your home, you can create a bridge to, say, the entertainment center in your home, where you have the 1522, which has, I believe, 4 or 5 ports on the back of it. It's going to accept that 5 gigahertz 11N signal coming from the 855, and then allow you to connect 4 to 5 devices right off the back of it. So the scenario there would be, say you have an Xbox, maybe you also have a PS3, you have a media player, maybe you have a TiVo box, all of which are right there in your home entertainment system. You can plug all of those products into the DAP1522, and that's going to create a nice, strong, powerful wireless bridge to the router and to the outside internet world.
Great. Thanks for all the information today, Dan.
Sure.
So today we've been talking about D-Link's DIR855, the Xtreme N dual-band wireless router. If you have any questions about this product or any of our other products, go to dlink.com. And if you'd like to watch more episodes, go to dlinktv.com. Thanks for tuning in, and come see us again soon.